I, a tender young maid, have been courted by many of all sorts and trades, if ever was any. A spruce haberdasher first spoke of me
This
fair,
episode
but
of
I
Ladies
would have nothing to do
Unlaced,
with
sponsored
small
by
fare.
an anonymous art lover whose continued contributions make episodes of Ladies Unlaced possible for all of our fans to enjoy. Now presenting your ladies of Chaste Treasure.
Good evening to all of our East Coast friends. We are joining you live from the West Coast, which I keep mistakenly calling it Western time, and it's not. It's Pacific time. I just feel like every time you say Western time, you have to wear a big hat.
Yeah, and carry a pocket watch and ride a
Cowboy
horse.
boots.
That's
Yes,
how that
yes,
works, yes, in Western time.
So there are two of us currently, but that is because our third is currently has landed from her long journey off from the other side of the West Coast and is on her way over here. So we're just going to kill time until she arrives. But greetings to everyone out there. Yes, how are we doing the Friday the 13th?
On this very lucky day.
It's freaking hot.
It is very warm, but I had a
Really?
wonderful hike where I gathered lots of invasive species. Yes, blackberries are an invasive species here in Washington, so I'm doing my part to contribute to the local ecology.
Yay! Yes, it makes us feel really good that we are not pooping the berries out all over the trails. We are making sure that they stay within the confines of our own ecosystem.
Removing from the ecosystem.
Yes. And today, because there is a fabulous thing that happens at this particular festival, which is the Washington Midsummer Renaissance Fair, which has 2 more weekends. So if you are out on the West Coast, please come and join us. Yes, we don't like to poop in the woods all that often. Don't judge me.
Look, I'm a hiker, all right? I'm not going to say I've never done it. I'm just saying among hikes, I carry a shovel.
Yes. But we are going, or I'm at least going to a lovely fantasy party that is happening after this. So they have a goblin fantasy party, and I just bought these really cute decorative ears from one of the vendors there, whose name I forgot. I apologize. Yes, we're going to go to a party later on. So we thought that it might be fun to sort of include that as a surprise theme for everyone joining us tonight. So welcome and thank you. Oh, yes. And if you like the show tonight, then please feel free to send us love in the below at paypal.me/chaste-treasure.
I usually prefer my love below.
I'm really good at words when it's hot out. This is just good times, great stuff.
Apparently, air conditioning is not a thing that they have in the Pacific Northwest,
No.
much like the Northeast. People are just like, we don't need air
It never
conditioning.
gets this hot.
No.
No, and it was 94 today when I got into my vehicle to get here. It is also much earlier over here than it is over where any of you are. So thank you for joining us this evening. For us, it's, 4 o'clock?
5. It's just now 5 o'clock.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Yay.
104.
Oh, yes, I heard about that in Philadelphia. Oh, God.
It's in foul, fetid, fuming, foggy, filthy Philadelphia.
Hey.
John, is that you carrying on?
No one likes us. We don't care. No one likes us. We don't care. Greetings from Fort Myers. Oh, I missed that show. That was a wonderful show. So tonight we are kind of talking about fantasy type things. Maybe not fantasy, but like high fantasy. So elves and dwarves and orcs and all that kind of fun stuff. Ooh, I think I see a cat.
And this is my vague nod to the Goblin King. This is as close as to
I think
Goblin
it's what would happen if Jareth and Sarah actually had a child.
And the love child.
Like yes.
Jareth and Sarah.
It makes total sense. So feel free to throw us any questions in that kind of regard if you'd like.
We're feeling hot.
Oh, God. Some of those songs haunt me from my days being in cover bands. Just all of the number of times I had to perform Lionel Richie. Oh, God, what is that song? Not Hello. It's not Dancing on the Ceiling either. It's where they go, Tombolite settimo ya, jumbo, reach party over. All Night Long.
Oh, yes, of course.
All night. Ooh, that is a great question. Rosaline in the background asks us, what fantasy movie creeped you out as a child? And it is Friday the 13th, so this works out quite well. Gosh.
Oh God, what's the one with
I mean,
the
this-
unicorns and Tim Curry?
Oh my
devil?
God! I think it's not the last unicorn.
No, it's
and Tom Cruise is in it.
yes, very young Tom Cruise.
And the fabulous dress that woman wears. If you know
Yes.
in the comments what this is, I know exactly what you're talking about. It has to do with. It's not Beastmaster.
it's not
although I know that.
Beastmaster, no.
I used to watch that for fun when I was a kid, when all of the Conan movies would come on. Because that would be like Conan, and then they'd run out of Conan movies, so then they would start playing Beastmaster, and he had like ferrets that he pulled out of his pants, and I don't know how.
Legend, of
Thank
course.
you,
Thank
Colin.
you.
Thank
That's
you
the
very
one
much.
that definitely
Yes.
creeped me out.
Yeah, Tim Curry in that is absolutely terrifying. He is absolutely like off the chain
And
terrifying.
100%, they say you can tell a person's personality by where they know Tim Curry from.
Mhm.
And I was
That was
like,
that.
is the guy playing the devil the guy who was in Clue? Because that's who I am. Yep, you're welcome. That's my personality. Return to
I
Oz
can't
is
even watch
next
that
up.
one
very
because of the electricity thing in it. I have a terrible fear of electricity, and there is a point
Mhm.
where she gets electroshock therapy,
Mhm.
and I am horrified by that kind of thing.
Which
I know a lot of people that still do ECT, electroconvulsive therapy, ECT, and
But
some of
it's
it
at
works for some people.
much lower doses now.
Right.
And it's no longer like, you're being bad, so we're going to punish you with electric shocks. It's like,
Right.
oh no, there's actually regions of the brain that we can
Yeah, we
hook
can
up to a
reset with
battery and
this,
like
yeah.
like jumpstart you like a car. There's all sorts of people who do this on YouTube. Have you seen this?
I don't know if I should.
There's YouTube videos of people taking like everything from 9 volts to much larger batteries and putting nodes on their heads and trying to like stimulate their brains so that they
That's
are
awful.
free of depression or whatever. And
Oh!
no, it's like a biohacking thing. It's
It's
like
like licking a battery. That's awful.
except more fun. Or less
We have
fun.
a friend joining us. Hello, Estefaña.
Estefaña's here.
Hello, everyone. I
You
just
left the
can't-
chair for you over there.
Oh, then I'm over
Yeah, we
here.
brought you a chair over this way. Come on.
Okay.
You have to rearrange on the table.
And there's food of many kinds.
Yay.
your-
Hello,
What?
everyone. How is everyone
I
doing?
squished the chair again.
Come closer.
Oh,
Yes, we
Oh,
have
there.
many things.
wonderful.
And we
things
were just
here.
being asked in the comments,
Yes.
what was the scariest, well, not the
No,
scariest,
what fantasy
movie
creeped you out?
creeped you out as a child?
Ooh.
And I was trying to come up with, there was like a, there was a storyteller series. I thought it was Jim Henson's Storytellers. There was a big white lion that someone had to like touch and
Ooh,
pet
I didn't
at
see
one
that.
point, and there was
Mm.
like a I just remember some of that was being really creepy. Although I guess if I had to go through anything, it might be, it was either Beastmaster or Conan. Now I can't remember which one it was, but there was a there were creatures that basically had the almost like bats. They had
Beastmaster.
wings, and they would like hug you and then turn you into a skeleton.
That is
It was-
Beastmaster. Mhm.
Like yeah. It was the weirdest thing because it was just like weird flying creatures that would hug you and everyone died.
Oh,
And they were
everyone
David
is here
Roberts.
now. Hello, David.
Hi, David.
That didn't work. I picked up just the stem. There. We still have some of your cherries.
Yes.
Rosaline let you know. that
We're
we-
still
some of them.
putting your cherries in our mouths.
They're really good.
I am going to change my shirt real quick. I'll be right back.
Oh, she stepped off camera to do that. This might be a good moment to mention that we have some lovely chocolates also gifted to us here, and they are from local chocolatier France. Yes, since I'm French, they must be from France, clearly. No.
They are not an official sponsor. However, if anybody in the Pacific Northwest wants to contact them and say, we really love your chocolates, please sponsor an episode, feel free.
Or if anyone wants to send us yet more chocolates, they do FedEx chocolates to us at whatever address. So let us know. We'll give you an address. We'll get chocolate.
Yes.
They're delicious. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, all the friends. Just the stage.
You know, I was kind
I
of
feel like it
thinking
should be.
something like that, like just the tip, but just like just the stem.
I think you're buttoning that wrong. I just realized that.
Is it a little
Oh,
off?
yeah.
you're a
it's a
little
little
off.
off.
I'm
Just
sorry, I'm
this
a
one.
little frazzly.
That's all right.
She
You just
she just got in.
flew in. Literally just flew in.
And
That's
boy, are my arms tired.
We knew you'd go
Mind you,
there.
you're not joking.
This one's orange.
Ooh.
Yes. There are only two. Would someone like a half of one?
I'm fine. I had one of the espresso ones, which are really, really good. Anyone else have any questions regarding fantasy things? Actually, since we're all three here, before we get into our first song, I do want to ask: what's your favorite fantasy character? We'll start there. We'll not start with the ones you have a crush on, but like just I wish I could be this person. I wish I could hang out with this person. I wish I could. This is my epic fantasy person that I'm really excited by.
I have to think about this really hard because I've read a lot of fantasy.
Oh,
like a lot.
See, once you start opening up books, then things are very exciting.
I think I know.
All right,
Go
who
for
you got?
Highlander.
Yes!
Good choice.
Yes, to be with the Highlander
my
so
God.
much, right?
Wait, all right, now which one? Because they were technically two-ish.
You know what? The TV show guy.
Yes.
That one.
Adrian Paul. I remember when videotapes were still a thing. My parents had a collection of all of them, and I did not get to go, but they went to a Highlander convention in the 90s, and it was terrifying for them because they're normal people, so they don't understand what a convention is, where everyone's cosplaying and like people were running around and pretending to get quickening every time that they would like flicker the lights and stuff. It was they were so confused. They had no idea what was going on, and they just came back and they said, oh, darling, everyone was so obsessed. I was like, I know, because it's a convention. That's what they're there for.
I'm Jareth. Well,
Yay.
sort of.
What was you? You're Seraph? You're Seraph.
Seraph.
You're the combo.
Yeah, I was going to say if we're including Doctor Who,
Sure.
then Doctor Who has to be
Sure,
the
sure,
one. But there's sort of a case to be made that he's more science fiction than fantasy. Like if we stick to really true fantasy.
Duncan MacLeod.
Yes.
He honestly, although I loved the first movie, I thought the first movie was amazing, and I have a very special place in my heart for the first movie because there was a time where I was really, really sick, and they kept replaying it over and over again on USA, and I marked the time by how long things were going in the Highlander series. So it was like 2 hours to get through the whole thing, and I was up all night, and I got through it like 3 times. I'm like, all right, but I know we're at this point, so things are getting better because it's been at least an hour and a half. We're getting to the fight scenes. Also, the Kurgan is amazing. Clancy Brown is fabulous.
I have my answer. I figured it out.
What you got?
So there was this movie that was popular-ish when we were children called The Never-Ending Story. I did not identify with the main character, Bastion, nor did I identify with the childlike Empress in the tower.
Oh my God, she was so annoying. Sorry.
She was annoying. You know who No. You know who I identified with? Atreyu, the warrior. He was my absolute favorite. And I think my little child brain took his motto, which is an actual native motto, and Star Trek and just stuck them together because the Klingons also ask you if you feel that it is a good day to die. So I was like, I understand this. This is my thing. And then I would ask children on the playground, do you think it's a good day to die? And they'd be like, ah! I was a weirdo. You're welcome.
Most heartbreaking scene.
Oh,
in
with the Artax?
with your horse.
Oh,
and
the swamps.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's always too soon.
It's always awful when any animal companion that dies in a movie is absolutely horrendous, and I can't get through it. Oh no. That's why I still watch Homeward Bound because I freaking cried.
I love that movie.
Shadow, you made it! Like I was like, oh my God, because I had an old dog too.
Every single one of them makes it.
It was so good.
The book is just as good.
Really?
I was so obsessed
I
with
didn't
the
know
movie.
I had a book.
Yes, so the movie is based on a book, and I was obsessed with the movie. I watched it like 25,000 times, and then I discovered that there was a book. So I read the book, and the book is just as good.
Ooh. All right.
Slightly different adventure, but just as good.
The big wolf that tries to kill the kid.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes.
That is
Oh,
when
yes.
it's just teeth. You can like it has eyes too, but it's just teeth.
Yeah, even more than
It's
that,
awful.
the oracles at the end
Yes.
that he defeats them and they fall apart. That
Oh.
completely freaked me out. But I was also like, yes. But the nothing, like
Yes.
that stayed
Can
in
you
my head
stop the
as
nothing?
an adult,
Yes.
and I was like, oh, so apathy is really the true evil, and like, that's sort of
I
become
mean,
my
I don't know.
philosophy of life.
Forgive me.
Makes
I drove across Montana, and that was the first thing that kept coming up over and over again. How do I stop the nothing? There's nothing out there. It's just emptiness. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful emptiness.
It's true.
All right. So this is kind of maybe it's a little off kilter here, but I would say the Sanderson sisters.
Oh, yes.
All of the Sanderson sisters. Now, I identify. I mean, when I was a kid, I wanted to be Sarah. I wanted to be the beautiful girl that sang pretty songs, and then I made a whole freaking empire out of it. But on top of that, now I really, really love the Bette Midler character. She's she's like vicious but calculating and interesting and fun and like great singer and a great showman. And I was like, I want to be this character.
100%.
This is so much fun. And I feel like that still counts if we're talking about like the Last Unicorn and things like that.
Oh yeah, I
Winifred.
loved Binks, the black cat that was actually a boy.
No, it's not Zachary. I always thought it was Zachary. It's Thackeray.
Yes.
Which is stupid. Sorry.
It is.
I swear to God.
And that was
That will
actually
become
filmed at a historic site just outside of Salem, where I worked for like 2 seconds. And we did several pirate festivals there, and that was a lot of fun.
I'm sorry, I'm distracted by the cat, who I think has found something interesting to attack.
Our Binks over here.
There's
our
a black cat. There's a black cat over down that way.
A very lovely one.
Yes.
Very beautiful.
Yeah, McGee on SCIS. I don't know that he counts as a fantasy character.
I mean,
no,
I suppose it
maybe,
depends on your fantasy.
Yeah, maybe. All right. Well, I feel like now that everybody's kind of here and kind of settled, we should do one of our songs. So I think it should be one of the ones that's a little bit more predictable. So of that, we have the list there. Which do you want to do? Would you like to do Black Agnes or Himbo?
Oh, we can't blow our load with Himbo up front.
I
We have to
know,
make them
right?
wait for Himbo.
Black Agnes.
We
then.
gotta do a little bit of
All right.
work,
So
right?
our fantasy character of Black Agnes. I guess this is like the fantasy rewrite version of her story. So whenever you're ready.
Black Agnes was a Scottish lass, a bonny noble bride
Of a man who went to jail for his country's pride.
Agnes watched the enemy bring an army to her wall, and down she cried, for Haggis' sake, I'll die before I fall. Oh, up with your kilt and down with your arse, you make me bloody sick. Your family tree's a cactus 'cause you're such a friggin' prick. I hope you step on Legos and I hope your goldfish dies. I swear to every one of you I'll be no Bonnie Prize. Bum-ba-da-dum, bum-bum, bum-ba-da-dum, bum-bum.
I wish a horrid pestilence upon your friends again. I hope that every time you wipe your fingers slip right in.
Oh, God.
I heard the word out of your nose and there is upon your head.
And I hope you shout the wrong name when you take your wife to bed. Oh, up with your kilt and down with your ass, you make me bloody sick. Your family tree's a cactus 'cause you're such a friggin' prick. I hope you step on Legos and I hope your goldfish dies. I swear to every one of you I'll be no Bonnie Prize. Bum-ba-da-dum, bum-bum, bum-ba-da-dum, bum-bum.
You'll never get in, hear me lads. Give up your crusade. We'll crawl right up a chicken's butt and pray that you'll get laid.
You smell like diarrhea and you're such a friggin' creep. It's nice you grew a beard to make it easier on the sheep. Up with your kilt and down with your ice, you make me bloody sick. Your family tree's a cactus 'cause you're such a friggin' prick. I hope you step on Legos and I hope your goldfish dies. I swear to every one of you I'll be no Bonnie Prize. Bum-ba-da-dum, bum-bum, bum-ba-da-dum, bum-bum. Black Agnes was a Scottish lass, the pride of all the land. The enemy threw down his sword and put up both his hands. All right, me lads, the jig is up. We made the most of it. We've sharpened up our swords, boys, but she's sharpened up her wit.
Just you're too high. Otherwise, I'm just
Cha-cha-cha-cha.
I know we have to sort of.
You can't
Punch
even
you in
see
the
my other
chin.
arm, so I'm just like, yay! I just have one arm.
Thackeray Binks was played by Sean. Who plays McGee on NCIS? That's right, the actual human being. That you did tell me that at one point, Elsa. You're right. You're right. I forgot that.
I did not know that.
I'm right.
Oh, it's such a good name for a
It
kid.
is. It's a great name for a kid.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
Oh, it's Lord Captain Jack Sparrow watching us. Hi,
Yes.
Lord Captain.
I like that. It's like not only that's so Jack Sparrow though. Of like not only is he Captain Jack Sparrow, he's now Lord Captain Jack
Captain
Sparrow.
Jack
Yeah,
Sparrow.
if I was making up titles for myself, I would do that too.
Oh, absolutely.
Not like I already have it.
I don't know what you're talking about. All of my titles are actually real and absolutely earned. That one's caramel. Oh god.
Ooh, get it.
I'm going to get
Um,
a sherry.
All right. So, if any of you have any comments or questions, especially on a fantasy theme, feel free to throw those into the comment section and we will gladly answer them. Also, just as a reminder, if you like what you're hearing today, we are happily on PayPal. So paypal.me/chasetreasure if you would like to tip us today. Otherwise, I know some of you are going to join us tomorrow and there have already been people asking me like, what do you want to drink tomorrow, Morgan? And I'm like, IPA, I don't know.
Porter.
Oh,
That
yeah.
porter is amazing.
delicious.
That chocolate one, that was really good. I was like,
Yes. I
oh.
hope they brought more.
You know what, Lord Captain, that's the one that I want for tomorrow.
Same.
If you're
Is the
watching,
porter?
please, yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, that'll be easy to tell everything apart. Like, ooh, you've got like the cloudy one, and then you've got two dark ones in it.
Wait,
Beers. I meant the beer. The
I was
cloudy
going to
one
say, I
and the
don't think I
dark one.
count. I may be French, but I'm a little fair.
Well, do I? Yeah.
Please. That one is, I think, extra dark or something like that.
Ooh, yes, there was
I have a
one that's
little,
like
I have a little brochure.
90% dark or something crazy. It was really, really good.
That is pure dark.
Ay, qué rico.
Just like I like my men. Wait, what?
Pure and dark. Wait, not pure. There was no pure going
You're
on.
as the driven cool.
So, growing up, I was extremely sheltered and naive. I know you'd never know. And my mother is noted for saying that I was, in fact, the evil one, and that my best friend, who was the one introducing me to sinful things like popular music, was, quote, pure as the driven snow. So that is our quote. It has been since childhood, because we are still very good friends. Leslie can do no wrong. She is as pure as the driven snow.
What does it mean to be driven snow?
I believe
Like
the
snow-
snow that has been driven into a big drift.
Oh, all right. I didn't know if it was like the snow you drive through gets real gray. After
That's
a while.
true.
Have you guys ever seen? Have you
That
ever
would
been
be
to
more
New York
accurate.
during a blizzard and they push the
Yes,
snow
yes,
and it's like
that's
7 feet high?
That's my
Something
kind
in
of snow.
entirely different.
It's the snow
Darling.
full of trash.
There is many cheeses and
Oh,
cherries and
yes.
things.
Yes,
Please eat
wonderful.
them.
All right.
And
So
there's
we've
dinner
got
later.
a great question from Cleopatra, who's one of our top subscribers. So thank you so much, Cleopatra. If you could live in your choice of fantasy lands, which would you live in and why? God.
Oh, I know my answer.
What?
This
All right,
is
go
an
ahead.
easy one. I would live in Terre d'Ange,
Oh, I love that.
which is the land of Cushiel's Dart, which is one of my favorite fantasy
These
series.
two know this series, and I do
It's-
not. And
if
I
You
know people
must be
in
introduced
the comments
to
are
this.
going to be really into it. So
highly recommended.
Yes. So in Terre d'Ange, there is but one law of the land, which is love as thou wilt. And that, I think, would be Julie's motto and is my motto as well.
That makes sense.
You know, I think I want to live in Ferngully.
Oh,
Ferngully was
I
amazing.
want to be a fairy that just flies around in the forest.
Hangs out with Christian Slater. Why
Yeah.
not? That was
Mhm.
Well, that's another childhood Tim Curry thing.
Yes, he
Really
was.
nice.
Oh,
What was
he
that
was
character's
so
name? Ooze or something?
Oh God.
Something like that.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what it was. Yeah, that one used to mess me up. That I still cannot watch The Rats of Nim. That one horrified me when I was a
Yes.
child. Just all the horrible things that they did to those rats, and I just couldn't watch it after a while. I was like, oh,
Yeah. It's too much.
Although I did
No,
have,
yeah.
I have a crush on the guy. You remember the who is it? He was a rat, but he was like a good rat. and he was helping out the madam. He was helping out the mouse. He was
I watched it like twice.
I
can't
don't
really
remember.
super
I
high.
remember the books slightly better, but only slightly, because that was a whole section of my childhood as well. And then I went on to the Celtic fantasy section of my childhood. So I did things like The Dark is Rising sequence.
Hexus, thank you.
Yes.
Colin's
Thank
on fire
you,
today. Hexus
yes.
is my character's name.
Nexus.
Oh, you know what just occurred to me? We don't have a theme for tips today, but I've been doing stupid human tricks with $50
That is true.
bills.
That is true. She has.
And Reaper Cheese. Yes, I love it. Okay, so Chronicles of Narnia also obviously like fundamental part of my personality. But I'm Susan. I discovered lipstick and I can't go to heaven now. That's a wonderful Neil Gaiman story, by the way. So,
yes, I remember it was like coming back on the train or something.
So what happens in the Chronicles of Narnia, and this is, the canon, is that they get into a train crash. They've been sent to the countryside to get away from the bombings, and they come back and they die in a train crash, except for Susan.
Okay.
Now, Neil Gaiman wrote a wonderful sequel that's a short story that's follow-up to the Chronicles of Narnia, called The Problem of Susan. And if you haven't read it, it's a short read and it's wonderful.
Really good.
And the deal is that Susan discovered, and this is also in C.S. Lewis's canon, he says Susan discovered lipstick and nylons so she can never go back to Narnia. And you go, wait a minute. Susan is Eve. Ooh. But also, that's deeply problematic and sexist. And so I'm
It's
Susan.
a really good story. Honestly, one of my, not that it's very fantasy, but one of my favorite Neil Gaiman stories is Snow Glass Apples.
Okay.
Oh, that one's a mess. So it's based on Snow White, but with the idea that Snow White is a vampire. And that's why she has skin as white as snow.
Yeah.
And then her lips as red as blood, and that she's been she was feeding on her father and manipulating him, and then she ends up marrying the prince or getting married to the prince and feeds on him and manipulates him, and the queen is the only one. She's a witch, but she's the only one who knows.
Mm-hmm.
And then she gets shoved in an oven at the end. And that's kind of what happened in the original story too.
I mean, in the original story, so if you read it in the German, it actually says that she gets invited to the wedding, and they take shoes made of iron and they heat them in the fire, and they make her dance at their wedding in these shoes made of iron until she dies. Yeah. Germans are brutal.
Yes. Oh, it's like okay, this German fairy tales are very interesting, but then after a point you're like, someone had a really weird fetish that they're trying to figure out, and I don't know. And I mean, granted, now if you've ever been to a German fetish club, you've seen some fun stuff. But just after a point, you're like, somebody had a lot of issues that they were writing out in these stories.
I'm sure I don't know what you're talking about.
That makes me think of my one of my managers used to have all these crazy stories. And he was talking about how he went to a fetish club and he saw somebody tied up to the wall. And he was like, oh my God. And he went over there and started unbuckling him. And they were like, don't stop. Somebody get him. The guy started screaming help me.
Oh,
and he's like, I'm helping you.
Not that kind of help.
Oh no.
Someone paid good money to be tied to a
JP,
wall.
if you're watching this, I love you.
versus my gravest error that I have made in such a situation, which was when I gave a submissive a compliment instead of giving it to her dog.
Oh no.
Yes. I felt bad immediately afterwards because I should have seen that she was being walked around on a leash. And I went, oh, you look so beautiful. Oh, I'm sorry.
Not spirit animal.
Ooh.
Like animal that represents our personalities kind of thing, or like our favorite fantasy animal that doesn't actually exist.
Right, because I think those would be two different things.
Yes.
I love unicorns. I'm obsessed with unicorns. Seen all the unicorn movies. Wrote poetry as an emo teenager about unicorns.
You were a teenager obsessed with unicorns?
I was.
Wow.
I have to say, I
have seen the unicorn tapestries in person, but
yes.
it wouldn't be my spirit animal. They're way too
I have to say I have two.
Okay.
Falcor.
Yeah, Falcor's amazing.
And Haku. And they're both dragons, so I guess it's a
just
dragon.
dragons, yeah.
All right, the clarification. Personality.
God, what would I be?
I used to identify strongly with the phoenix. I have been through a lot in my life
That
and
makes a lot of sense.
risen from the ashes, but that is problematic at the moment. And a friend who may or may not be watching this at the moment knows why. So that's a whole story. Private message me for more details. So I don't, right? But I don't know what I identify with. I guess I'll say Phoenix for now, but I'm gonna come up with Rosaline is Abu.
From Aladdin? Maybe. I don't know, but it's a monkey. It's a real monkey. Like, it's not a fantasy monkey.
But he does sort of
Technically,
speak.
yeah.
He like speaks and stuff. No, I would say if she identified as the genie, that would be fine, because
Alright.
that's a fantasy. That's not a real thing.
Right.
Or I mean, like, it's not the way that's represented in that movie is not necessarily real. Oh God, what would I think? This is gonna get me into D&D stuff now. I would say there was a time where I fought a lich in my very first campaign with D&D things, and I would go for fantasy world, all right, mythical, whatever. But I would say like a lich, like if Morgan could put her soul into a box and hide it somewhere to be immortal so that I could do crazy things, then yeah. All right, see, now an undead monkey, that's different. You can't have an undead monkey. I feel like that works. You're always arguing in the comments.
You know, I think I would be a griffin or
Yeah.
like a sphinx or something like that.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
That was the name of my first sword.
Griffin.
Griffin.
Ooh.
Yes.
I have a friend named Griffin somewhere.
Ooh. And many of
Who's
my
your
friends
birthday?
belong to Red Griffin. So here's a toast to Red Griffin.
Do you need a drink?
Speaking
by
of
the
which,
way?
darling,
Please.
would you like some?
I'm seeing. I'm like
toasting
this
him,
wine looks so
wine, I have
delicious
tea.
right now.
All right, the dog-leg footstool from Beauty and the Beast. That's fine. I can go with that
Okay.
because
I've
because
played
you
the
can't have-
wardrobe.
because you can't have. Could you get me some more water as well? Darling?
could and will.
Yay! Thank you. Yes. Yeah, I would think that still counts. Yeah, a dog-leg footstool. That'll totally work. You don't have a painting of yourself hid away from world. No. It's not the portrait of Dorian Gray. No, I just have really good genetics, and I'm covered in makeup right now, so no one can see all of my smile lines.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't have those.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think of other like fun fantasy animals that I've run into. Oh my god. Thank you so much. My husband runs a campaign with a bunch of his friends, and they befriended a mimic. So there was a mimic. There was a mimic in one of their campaigns. It was like a rock, and it was outside of this cave. And as they approached the cave, the mimic got up and tried to attack them. They were like, ah! And they like attacked it and got it down to like low hit points. And then it was like, stop, I'm sorry. And people started to realize that mimics have an intelligence. So they can speak. They know common. They can talk. They can hang out with you. They can have conversations. And then later on in the campaign, they ran into him again, and he literally says, as they're like approaching, and there's just like a caravan. They're approaching a caravan, and there's like a chest near the side of the road, and the chest gets up and says, "God, you again?" And then they made friends with him. So I was like, "All right." So now they just have him. He's following them around in their caravan. They're a performing caravan of tricksters and whatnot.
Oh, that sounds like fun.
Yes. So we have friends with a mimic. All right, we should do another song.
Okay.
Oh, well, since I just served beverages.
Yes, we could do We Like Our Men. No, I think we should do fantasy beverages. I feel like we can pick those for ourselves.
You
if that
think?
works. Yeah,
All
I
right.
think otherwise it would take too long to ask everybody in the comments about stuff.
Well, we could tell them to pick them now, sing another song,
All
and
right.
then wait.
All right, good idea. All right, so
So-
we'll set that up. We'll do Caviar now. But if you have any fantasy beverages, like something like not just mead, obviously. But ambrosia. What's the thing in Norse mythology? Yeah, butterbeer. That totally works. What's the thing in Norse mythology that you no, it's an apple. I think if you had like apple or mead from a tree, that it could make you immortal. Polyjuice potion. All right, there you go.
That works. Butterbeer. There we go.
Ooh. There's a bunch of different ones. So yeah, we'll stack the deck of comments, and then but for now we'll do Caviar with some newer verses.
That's why I went and got my book. But now I'm realizing I don't think they've heard, unless they are Oklahoma fans, they probably haven't heard my original Caviar verses. So
No,
I might just sing my super offensive Catholic verse and my you will enjoy it regardless, but my ending the Tudor dynasty verse.
Oh, that is a really good one. So yeah,
Written
we'll go down
for
the line
Elizabeth
as we usually do.
of Oklahoma.
Caviar. 1, 2, ready, go.
Caviar comes from a virgin sturgeon's a mighty fine fish. No good sturgeon wants to be a virgin. That's why caviar is a very rare dish.
I gave caviar to a stableman, a handsome young man, yes you bet. Showed me how to mount a horse, and then we rode into the sunset.
Caviar comes from a virgin sturgeon's a mighty fine fish. No good sturgeon wants to be a virgin. That's why caviar is a very rare dish.
I gave caviar to a bastard while outside winter winds did blow, but in the warm cave we hid within, I got 8 inches of snow.
Caviar comes from a virgin sturgeon's a mighty fine fish. No good sturgeon wants to be a virgin. That's why caviar is a very rare dish. I ate caviar off Queen Liza, where she used to wear her pearls, and it made her realize that she would rather stick to girls. Caviar comes from a virgin sturgeon's a mighty fine fish. No good sturgeon wants to be a virgin. That's why caviar is a very rare dish.
I gave caviar to a Spaniard, a giant man he had with him. He kept shouting over and over, hello, my name is Amigo Montoya. You killed my father. Go back to die.
Oh, I know him.
Yeah.
Caviar comes from a virgin sturgeon's a mighty fine fish. No good sturgeon wants to be a virgin. That's why caviar is a very rare dish.
I gave caviar to my friend Sokka while he was lounging on his back. He showed off his boomerang, but everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked.
Caviar comes from a virgin sturgeon's a mighty fine fish. No good sturgeon wants to be a virgin. That's why caviar is a very rare dish. I gave caviar to a cardinal, taught him all life's greatest joys, but in spite of all my efforts, found out he was into boys.
Oh, that's awful.
Caviar comes from a virgin sturgeon's a mighty fine fish. No good sturgeon wants to be a virgin. That's why caviar is a very rare dish. That's why caviar is a very rare dish. Olé!
All the Catholics are so upset.
I mean, you're just telling the truth. I mean,
That's why we're Protestant.
cheers to that. Woo! To Catholics.
All those down for the ladies. All right, good. Yeah, yes, I'm sure Rosalind has like a whole list of all the different drinks that we might be able to do. Thank you so much.
Oh, good. Thank you.
So while Rosalind is cataloging the drinks, I did have a question.
Oh.
All right, so we talked about favorite fantasy character just in general. Okay. So what is the fantasy character that you would most want to hook up with?
I knew you were going to ask.
Either like a one night stand kind of thing, or even like an epic relationship, or like a self-insert fan fiction kind of thing, like any level of things.
It's got to be Jon Snow because he likes to go down.
Yeah.
Not a
He does not have to be asked. Hello.
Yes. You take a knee. All right.
I'm trying to remember this character's name.
Oh, I'm trying to think of who. See, of course, I asked my question, and then I'm like, Regina Mills. Yes, of course. Oh, all right. Rosalind, I was in full screen, that's why I couldn't see it. All right. Haha.
Oh, I know his name. So there was a fantasy series called Green Rider, and the sequels were Black Veil and the High King's Tomb. And in it, there is this rogue with a heart of gold, sort of like Indiana Jones, but in medieval times. And his name is Alton Dier.
Ooh.
Yes.
That's yeah.
Wesley
from The Princess Bride.
Oh,
he's ripped too.
As
I
you
don't mind
wish.
it. Yeah. I don't know. Well, it's not fantasy. What do I think? I'll go with a classic. Just Aragorn is really hot.
He really is.
He really,
That's
really, and
not
like
a shabby
epic
choice.
horseman, like really, really kind and speaks multiple languages. Like, could you imagine him just like speaking to you in Elvish while he's like having sex with you?
I would be all
Just-
over that.
Yeah, just
The only person I ever knew who spoke Elvish was not particular, but it was high school.
Yeah, that's a thing.
He had a car named Shadowfax. It was a purple Mustang convertible.
That that's actually appropriate. All things.
It really
Purple
is.
Mustang would
Yes.
probably be Shadowfax.
I was like, all right, I'll go out with you. He was somebody or other's older brother.
Pan-galactic gargoyle.
Yes.
My God. Oh God. That's awful. Yeah, we're looking in the comments at some of the drinks that you've included.
Oh my God, there's so many good
Scarlet
ones.
Witch. I don't know the comic books necessarily count. I don't know. It's hard because Marvel's its own thing. I don't necessarily see them as fantasy, really.
Right? I mean, technically, I
their
suppose
own
they
thing.
should be, but it's a different genre.
It's a different superheroes are different.
All right, but which superhero do we want to bang?
Oh my God. Well, I mean, obviously Loki. Obviously, that's like the first
You know.
question. But
Yeah, but see, okay,
every iteration too. By the way, I love all of them. I might do the alligator. I don't know.
so I have
Just
a
down
rule.
for it.
I don't fall in love with actors. I fall in love with characters. Right?
Yes.
And I've never I love Doctor Who. I don't actually feel attracted to Matt Smith or Peter Davison or none of the actors who have played him. Right?
Yes.
He is my one exception. Loki, I'm not that attracted to. Tom Hiddleston, if you're watching this or if anyone gets it to you, I'm in love with you. Please.
I think
please.
you would have a great four-way here.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
And he's one of those people that in my hope, my sincere hope with some of the stuff that I write and things like that, there might be some day where something that I do gets produced that I could at least just meet him because he actually seems like a genuinely nice human being.
The entirety of Chase Treasure.
All
wants
19 people want to
You know what?
talk to
I'm
us.
You're
really
feeling
okay with
ready.
it.
I
Tom Hiddleston, if you want an orgy, this is your offer.
I have to give a major shout out to Rosaline, who went with me to see him to his play in New York before the pandemic, 2019 something. It might have been February 2020 actually,
Insanely
just
jealous.
beforehand. The play was awful, so don't be jealous.
But you got to see
It's a
him
picture
live.
play. I mean, like I
well.
didn't like it, and it was staged really weird. Like there was like, ooh,
It's a
time
picture
goes
play.
backwards, so that means that we're gonna have a whole stage is just a clock, and they're gonna wind the stage backwards. And there was one point,
Oh, no.
this little girl is supposed to play the character's daughter. So I don't remember. It's Betrayal. It's called Betrayal.
All right.
It
was an awkward show.
So there's this point where the character Tom Hiddleston, who is married to the female character, and she's having an affair with his best friend. And that's the entire play is just she's having an affair with his best friend. So it's about like when they meet and all that other kinds of stuff. But there is a point where they have a daughter together, and this child never speaks the entire show. And this child doesn't do anything, but she like comes out every once in a while, and then Tom Hiddleston puts her on his lap, and that's it. And I was like, God, I want to be that child. She's like 7, and I'm like, she's not doing anything, but she just sits there for like 7 minutes. She's just on his lap, doing nothing, just cuddled up next to him, being like, "Oh, this is my dad, isn't it so cute?" And I'm like, that kid.
Lady Morgan inciting violence against the child. I will knock you off that lap.
Suddenly,
I'm not that
Lady Morgan
weird.
has amputated her own legs. Look, I'm a 7-year-old now. No, you're not.
Well, and she's like a biracial 7-year-old too, so it wouldn't have worked
No.
anyway. But I was like, that was interesting. No, but I think we had the opportunity. We could have gone. Sometimes he meets people afterwards, like off stage. He'll go out and greet his audience, and I was like, no, that feels weird because I'm an actor too, and a lot of times after I've done something like really intense, like that kind of play, where he just screams at his wife at the end. She has to try to
That's her
equity
equity
card.
card.
Yes. That's the last thing you want is for a bunch of people to be like, oh my God, you're my favorite and I love you. And I was like, let me give him his space. Like, I don't know if he's super emotional about this. He also like started crying on, what was it, the Jimmy Kimmel show or something, talking about Baby Yoda, because he said that he could just turn it on whenever he wanted to. And they made him he starts crying talking about Baby Yoda. Anyway, I'm going to shut up about
I
Tom
love him
Hiddleston,
more now.
but he's amazing. But yeah, I saw the play and it sucked, but he was great. It's not his fault. It's a kind of thing where like you see a movie and you're like, the director handled this poorly. If it was like well written, like it's a well written show, but it was just like, what the hell are they doing on this stage? What's going on?
You know,
How did we get into this?
I've never seen anyone angrily eat Italian.
One of my friends pointed out, and I didn't know I was doing this subconsciously, but apparently most of my ex-boyfriends look like Superman.
Oh.
And now I go back and look, and I'm like, yeah, they actually do kind of.
I dated. Ben's not watching, but I did. My best friend Ben, who has also coincidentally dated one of our other ladies just later on, and I introduced them because he's my best friend. He's built like Batman. Like he is just that beefy and has this very nice butt.
Yeah.
And he's like very, very like strong and curvy. And I used to think that all the time. I was like, he is just built like the way they draw Batman. And we broke up for a lot of other reasons, but I was never mad about that. And he's still my best friend. He was my best man. It was my best person, I guess, at my wedding. Yeah. He stood next to me while we got married. It was nice.
Man of honor.
He's going to watch my dog this week.
My boyfriend.
Yes. The boyfriend is the dog, not the friend.
No.
Also, yes, send us some love, by the way. I just keep seeing the scroll of PayPal.
Yes, I am absolutely willing to do stupid human tricks that wouldn't normally be visible from the stage here for you. So if you give us an especially large tip, I will do a stupid human trick
We
for
like
you.
the tip.
Yes.
So I would want Captain America.
Yes. I will also say, just
I'm
briefly, if you
American.
haven't watched it yet, the What If series, they just came out with the first episode. And it is so good. It's only half an hour. It's like 36 minutes. So good.
All right. So
Donald Gaither did tip
all
us
right.
something nice.
Thank you, Donald.
this is my stupid human trick that I can't do on stage because no one will see it on stage.
Oh my God! Horrible fantasy monster!
You're going to be in my dreams tonight.
You're welcome. That's not how I wanted to make it into your dreams, but I'll take it.
Wait, all right. This is taking me back to childhood. Does anybody remember the kid? It was a claymation, Inside Out Boy.
Yes.
He swung over the bar and he was
And then
Inside Out Boy.
Inside Out.
And then he's like trying to teach people morality lessons, and I was like, "Your insides are on the outside of your body. What? No, I'm not going to listen to you."
Wasn't that the like Adult Swim or something
No,
like that?
he was on like Nick. He was on like
Yes.
Like
the
Nick
Nick
and
afternoons. Now, granted, at that time, I think they were playing Ren and Stimpy, so they had a lot of questionable choices. going on.
You know, our childhood was very questionable of like the things that
There
were
were some
like our
things
content.
I go back and I'm like, all right. So we're closing in a little bit later. So we might run a little bit late today just because Estefaña got here a little late as well. So do we want to do our we like our men?
Let's do it.
All right. So in the comments, we see right now some of the ones that were listed. I think there was also butterbeer up ahead. So
Right.
Klingon blood wine, Slurm. I don't know what that is.
I have a phone.
Perm coffee, fire whiskey. All right.
I like the
The
fire.
Pan-Galactic Gargle
Gargle
Blaster.
I'll take that one if no one else has an
I
affinity for it.
yeah. Go ahead.
All right.
That's a lot. That's a lot of words.
I will take the fire whiskey.
You take
Oh,
fire
all right.
whiskey. All
I'm
right.
just curious about what Slurm is.
I don't want to. I'm gonna take butterbeer. I'll go with my classic butterbeer.
All right.
Um.
Oh, of course. It's the drink from Futurama
Oh, got it. All right.
that may or may not be in aliens bodily fluid.
That yes.
Yes.
When you start drinking stuff that comes out of a cat for coffee, then I think that anything like that is all right. You know what I'm talking about. Hooray
Isn't
for
there some
Sis.
sort of
All right.
coffee that comes out of like
It's a cat. It's called a civet.
and they
Yes.
and they poop it.
Yes.
Like,
They eat
although
the berries and they poop it out.
The
and
way
that's
you
better.
phrase that makes me think of here's my nerd card. Dune. So
Yes.
not the new one, which I'm very excited
I'm
for,
very
but
excited
the
for.
old one
Yes.
that had oh god, everyone and their brother, and including Sting.
Sting.
Yes.
Yes, that's the
And
one part I remember.
At one point, one of the characters is given poison, and he has to milk a cat in order to get his antidote.
Oh.
Yes.
Yes.
I remember the cat's like, "Meow." It's like,
Like being held up with duct tape.
And there was like the boils, and he was like,
Oh,
Yes.
I saw that as an adult, and I will say something really that just David Lynch in general. Is it David Lynch?
It
That
is.
one? Yeah, really messed up in general, as I've seen some of his other stuff like Lost Highway. But the floating
Blue velvet.
creature things that create or process the spice,
Oh, yes.
or they plot the
the navigators.
charts, the
They are
navigators.
navigators.
Oh, the
yeah.
navigators.
They're
Yeah.
like they're just like a floating worm creature, and I was like, what? I bet he just made this whole freaking movie for just that. Like just this weird
That's
creature that he
straight
like
out of the
rolled up
book.
into- I know.
Do you know what they
But it's
are?
awful.
Actually, they're actually humans
Right.
who had too much
With
spice,
spice.
and they became these things.
Yes.
Yes.
Mhm.
Oh,
You know what I'm talking about.
I never read it, but I've seen the movie.
Oh, you must.
I don't want to. God, there's so many.
No. Don't bother with the rest of the series, but read
No,
the first
Come
one.
out of the
It's
same room.
epic.
All right, let's
That's what they do.
do We Like Our Men. Do we want to go that direction? Sure. So you first. All right.
We like our men like we like our drinks. Only when we want it, only when we want it. We like our men like we like our drinks, and they like us as well.
I like my men like I like my fire whiskey.
Only when she wants it, only when she wants it.
I like my men like I like my fire whiskey. Hot and in my mouth.
And they like us as well. We like our men like we like our drinks. Only when we want it, only when we want it. We like our men like we like our drinks, and they like us as well.
I like my men like I like my butterbeer.
Only when she wants it, only when she wants it.
I like my men like I like my butterbeer. Hot or warm or icy or with 3 broomsticks.
And they like us as well. We like our men like we like our drinks. Only when we want it, only when we want it. We like our men like we like our drinks, and they like us as well. I like my men like I like my pan-galactic gargle blasters.
Only when she wants it, only when she wants
I
it.
like my men like I like my pan-galactic gargle blasters. Smashed upside the head with a gold brick. And they like us as well. We like our men like we like our drinks. Only when we want it, only when we want it. We like our men like we like our drinks, and they like us as well. We like our men like we like to drink. Only when we want it, only when we want it. We like our men like we like to drink. Only when consent is expressed and freely given. And they like us as well. And they like us as well.
I like broomsticks.
And they like us as well.
I love
And
them.
they like us as well.
Oh, that was fun.
Yay!
Like we like the spice.
Why did we do that?
I like my men like I like my Fremen. Only when I want
That's it.
it. Only when I
want it.
I like my men like I like my Fremen. Blue within blue eyes. And they like us as well.
I like them like what's it? Zendaya. I just like Zendaya.
Yes.
That's pretty much where I'm at.
You know, I submitted for that, but of
Did
course,
you?
yeah.
Oh,
Because
really?
I thought I was like, oh, Chandy, yes, please
Oh,
put me in there. And like,
yes.
Zendaya,
You probably
decided to take the
You'd
role.
be a good stand-in for her though, because I think you're like the same height.
No, she's taller.
Oh, she's taller than you.
She's
way.
like 5'7", 5'8".
What?
No.
Oh my gosh, she's
Yeah.
small. Huh. I mean, not
Mm.
that you're small.
I'm small.
You are small. But it's a wonderful
I'm
thing.
a teeny
Yes.
tiny.
We prefer you pocket sized.
I like
My friends, I am remiss in letting all of you know that there is something fabulously new that Chase Treasure has available amongst all of the other fabulous things. We have a limited edition mask that is Chase Treasure related. Feel free to throw that visual up there. Ta-da! They are CDC approved. They have adjustable ear straps and bendable nose wires. The ladies in Chase have black ones that we've been wearing, including over at this Washington Midsummer Renaissance Festival. But these are white and they are only for our fans. You must pre-order them in order for them to be delivered to you. But if you are going to be at the Pennsylvania show or the Maryland show or the Pittsburgh show, which we just announced, or Alabama Medieval, or there's a bunch of shows coming up, please check out our online presence. I think Facebook has our big list and our website has a big list as well. So yeah, if you would like to buy your own masks, especially with the Delta variant going crazy right now, it's definitely a good idea to have one. But if you'd like to support us and buy them, that would be super wonderful. So feel free to check that out. Yes, stylish fashions. Yay.
That's right.
We're cute. Well, we can go a little bit over time before we get to Himbo. So I don't know what other fantasy questions we have though.
Ooh.
That's
I
had the two
one.
I had. All right.
What is your favorite fantasy villain?
That is a good question. I would have to go with the witch. The
Which
witch from
one?
the Lion, the witch
Oh,
from the
yeah,
Wardrobe.
like the
Yeah, there's a lot of
witch.
witches is a thing, but like in terms of, I never really liked the series of The Lion, the Witch, and Wardrobe. I read it and I was like, kind of weird. Yeah, I say Maleficent counts. That's a
Absolutely.
fantasy. Yeah, I love Maleficent too. She's fabulous. Turns into a dragon. It's amazing.
I
What
just
is
love
her
Ursula.
name? Yes. Oh gosh, she's so good.
My mother was a nasty.
I want to see you do that role.
Yes, that would be fun.
So it's funny that you should bring up the witch. So the White Witch in the Chronicles of Narnia is the one you're referring to. The one,
Yes, which I think is Tilda Swinton in the movie.
yes. And I'm trying. Her real name begins with a J. Anyway, my favorite was actually in one of the sequels in Prince Caspian. There is a witch who's the Green Witch, and there's some debate about whether or not it's the same witch or not. But she is evil, and she is the only villainess I ever went as like for Halloween. You know, little kids are like, I'm going to be this, I'm going to be that. For me, I was like, I'm a fairy princess, I'm a mermaid, I'm a this. Like, but her, I was like, I'm the Green Witch from Prince Caspian. Nobody got it. That and Eliza Doolittle. I had the ball gown and everything. Nobody ever got that. But yeah. I had green eyelashes. It was wonderful.
Ooh, that's fun.
She turns into a snake.
Ooh,
nice.
Also fun.
She's a badass.
Yes.
We like snakes.
That's a lot of like evil female characters in a lot of fantasy things. And I don't know what that says about societies in general.
But it's patriarchal.
Yeah.
Yes.
Saruman. Oh,
it is okay to be a
Saruman
nasty
can
woman.
spit in my mouth. All right. Yes.
Saruman.
Yes, and I will say, also, I think related, Count Dooku from Star Wars.
Okay.
Not necessarily. You could think it's a space fantasy, so but yeah, he was kind of hot. I didn't mind that.
I kind of have a crush on Kylo Ren, but I'm not sure if I have
Oh
a crush
my
on
God,
Kylo Ren or Adam Driver.
All right.
Which one
This is the thing, and this and people get mad at me for this, and this is melting, so I have to put this in my mouth.
Yes.
Gaston.
Put it in your mouth. Yes. Also Gaston.
He's definitely a himbo.
Yeah. We'll get to that. So Kylo Ren for me is the epitome of what Sith are trying to be. He's consumed by his emotions, and emotions are supposed to lead you to more power.
Right.
So if all you are supposed to do as a Sith is let your emotions go absolutely bonkers,
Shit, yeah.
he has done exactly what he's supposed to do.
That's right.
And I was like, this is what you wanted. He's super, super powerful. He's more powerful than any of the other Sith that have ever come around.
Right.
And then he does the Sith thing where he kills his master. Like, I was like, there can only be, it's a master and apprentice, and that's it. And he was the apprentice. And then they're like, bring in another one. And he's like, I will not have her usurp me. But the better way to do this is for me to be the master and for her to be my apprentice. And I was like, his character arc works so well. You can make a lot of other arguments about the movies, but I loved his character. I thought it was played very well, and I thought that they wrote him well. I thought he was great. Make arguments about the other characters, but I really liked his arc, and I think he represents what the Sith do really well. That's what it's supposed to be.
I'm just imagining him without his shirt on.
Oh my God, and the high-waisted pants. That's what I'm doing right now, and I get it, but I was like, why did you do this to Adam Driver? He's got perfect abs. Just give him some low-waisted jeans or something.
She's like, put the shirt on. I'm like, no, keep it off.
But that was my favorite moment in that movie, because that's exactly what two awkward teenagers are gonna do. Like, why are you in my thoughts? I don't know, why are you in my thoughts? Put a
Right.
shirt on. Like, no, you do it. That's exactly what that's like. That was an authentic moment for the two of them to be
100%.
like, what the hell are you doing here? I don't know. I didn't ask you to be here. Get out of my room. Yep.
Do you think he's a himbo?
No, he's
No.
not stupid. Han was.
Han is a himbo.
Han is absolutely a himbo.
He shot first.
I love Han though. I love Han so much.
No. I will go with oh god, Donald Glover.
Oh yes,
Yes.
What's his name?
He's in the Cloud City.
Lando Calrissian.
Yeah, Lando Calrissian.
Calrissian.
Yes. He's not a himbo. He's not dumb. Yes, Lords of Adventure are the pin-up himbos. Yeah, we've made.
Oh,
We've made
112%.
that joke many times, and we realized, and this was very funny because I was with Robin Hood and Maid Marian, who are good friends of mine from the Louisiana Fair, and they happen to be here as well, and they happened to come to one of our last shows. And I said, ladies, we've done this song many times, but I feel like I have to let Robin Hood know that we've written a song about him, and he doesn't know it. And Maid Marian, who is his wife in real life, lost her mind listening to us sing Himbo to her husband. And I was like, yep. You know exactly what this is, girl. We got a moment right now. And she's like, I get it. It was brilliant. So yes, Robin Hood. All right. Speaking of, we've name checked it a bunch of times. So we want to try to do the thing.
We can do this.
All right. Hopefully we're not going to blast out the microphone. So.
I'm singing quietly today. I'm trying to anyway.
Yeah. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Do 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 do.
Where have all the good men gone? The past has left me sore. Where's the grand and gallant man to rival mighty Thor? Isn't there a white knight, supportive and naive? Late at night, I wish my dream would come true if I believe.
I need a himbo. I'm holding up for a himbo till the day is through. He's gotta be strong and he's gotta be sweet with a lower than average IQ. I need a himbo. I'm holding up for a himbo till the morning calls. He's gotta have heart and he's gotta be brave with proverbial biceps and balls. Biceps and balls. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Somewhere in the midpoint between sweetie pie and jive lives a dreamboat with the power to cause an aftershock. Thicker than an oak tree and sweet as apple pie. Who needs a Superman with himbos on my side? I need a himbo. I'm holding up for a himbo till the day is through. He's gotta be strong and he's gotta be sweet with a lower than average IQ. I need a himbo. I'm holding up for a himbo till the morning calls. He's gotta have heart and he's gotta be brave with proverbial biceps and balls. And very tall. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. And when my day is totally sad and it won't seem to end, he sends me selfies while laying in my bed. Through the pain and the stress and bad moods, through the work and the buzz, I know he's waiting
will come someday.
Ooh, yeah. Oh,
Someday my prince will come.
you can't wait that. All right, my friends. That is all the time we have for this particular show. Hey.
It's Shiny!
It's a friend.
I love you, Shiny! I was wearing your earrings yesterday.
Oh, that is very nice.
Shiny is a regular of ours at the Oklahoma Renaissance Fair.
Ah.
And this year he made pearl necklaces for all the ladies, the three of us, so that
Aw.
we could say, I just got a pearl necklace from a gay man.
Ooh, very nice.
And matching pearl earrings.
Yeah.
And matching rainbow earrings that we wore for Pride weekend.
Oh, that's
He's
so fun.
wonderful. We love you, Shiny.
Oh, thanks, Paul. Yes, we'll be down in Louisiana eventually in November, so come find us then. Thank you all so much for joining us. If you enjoyed the show tonight, then please feel free to send us some tips if you would like. It's on paypal.me/chasedtreasure. You can also find us on Patreon, and you can find us on our own website, and some of you are already on Facebook, or some of you are already on YouTube. There's all kinds of different places where you can find us. You can also order masks, which we just name checked like a minute ago, but if you're just joining us, you can also order masks. I don't know what the cutoff date is, Rosaline, so if you got that, let us know. But yes, they are CDC approved. They have our logo on them. They have ear straps. They have an adjustable nose wire. Everything's really, really nice and adjustable that can fit many different kinds of faces and shapes and sizes. And they are here to keep you safe, because that's what we want you to join us, but we want you to join us safely. Thank you. Masks must be ordered by Wednesday, August 18th, which is coming up really soon. So make sure that you get those pre-orders in as soon as possible. I know you can pre-order them through PayPal.
Oh, and since we're running a little over, if anyone else wants to put a $50 tip in our tip box, I have another stupid human trick I can do. Just saying.
I can whistle Dizzy.
I used to try to do it in Oklahoma, and I successfully did it once in a corset, but it's much easier to do without a corset.
As there are most things. If you catch our
I'm
drift.
so sweaty right now. All right. I do think we have to probably wrap up. So thank you all so much for joining us. Oh, God, we never even introduced ourselves. I'm Lady Morgan.
I'm Lady Julie.
And I am Lady Estefaña.
And together we are
Chase Treasure!
Thank you so much and have a wonderful evening.
We
will
love
see you
you.
tomorrow at Washington Midsummer Renaissance Fair.
You have been watching an episode of Chaste Treasure, Ladies Unlaced. Thank you to all of our fans for your continued support of the live arts. And a special thank you to our sponsors. If you would like to sponsor an episode of Ladies Unlaced, please email chasetreasure@gmail.com.